Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Jack and today we're going to be talking about population geography. Please click the red button thing and without further ado, let's jump straight into the content. First, we have to get some vocabulary out of the way. Our first vocabulary is, well, the topic of the video, population geography. Population geography is, as its name suggests, the geography of population. Our second vocabulary is crude birth rate. Crude birth rate is how many births per 1,000 population, or how many births per 1,000 people. And as the word crude suggests, it might not be the best way to measure birth rate. Our third vocabulary is the maternity rate. Maternity rate is like the opposite, or it could be similar to crude birth rate, and it's how many deaths per 1,000 people. Our fourth and final vocabulary to get out of the way is fertility rate. Fertility rate is, some would say, a better way to measure birth rate. Fertility rate is, on average, how much births do a mother give. Now we have got the population vocabulary out of the way, we can talk about these population pyramids. And population pyramids is a way to display population. And you can see that on the horizontal axis is the population marks, and on the vertical axis is the age. And you can see this kind of as a bar chart, but has two sides, and one side is the male population and one side is a female population, and they pretty much, and in most cases they would pretty much mirror each other. The overall shape of a population pyramid can determine if a country's population is growing or if it's shrinking. We can see a few examples here. This is the population pyramid of Nigeria. And first, when you see the pyramid, you can notice that this somewhat resembles a triangle. And this triangle has a rapidly narrowing top, meaning this country has a low life expectancy, and with a rapidly increasing bottom, we can see that this country has a high birth rate, and this country is likely to be growing in population. We can see a different thing when we look at the population pyramid of Italy. Nigeria is a developing country, while Italy is a developed country. And developing countries often have more births than developed countries. And as we can see here, the population pyramid, the bottom of the population pyramid is rapidly narrowing, meaning that this country has a low birth rate, and it's likely to be having a negative natural growth, or be having a natural decrease. And this country, Italy's top of the population pyramid, well, it's still rapidly narrowing, but it's not that much rapidly narrowing, meaning that the country has a relatively high life expectancy. Now that we have understood population pyramids, we are going to look at the demographic transition model. The demographic transition model, though, explains the population and the mortality and fertility rate of a country from stage 1, which is a not developed society, to stage 5, which is a developed society. And now we can look at stage 1. We can see that the red is mortality rate, the green is fertility rate, and population is blue. So in stage 1, you have a high fertility rate, but also a high mortality rate or death rate, meaning that this is not a developed society, and because the fertility rate and mortality rate is both high, the fertility rate and the mortality rate is both high, you will have a population that's not growing. And we can see that this population pyramid looks like this. Over here at stage 2, we see that the country is developing, and also note that there is no country in the world that is in stage 1, but a lot of the developing parts of Africa is in stage 2. We see the death rate or mortality rate drop while the fertility rate stays pretty high, and that's when we have natural increase. And that natural increase will drive the population of the country high. Over at stage 3, we see the country rapidly urbanizing, and as people urbanize, the birth rate or fertility rate drop, meaning that people are having less child. And that means that the natural increase is going to drop because the mortality rate has already declined, and now we see the fertility rate decline in stage 3. In stage 4, we see the natural increase continue to decline because the decline of the fertility rate. And there is still some natural increase though. And stage 5 is a one that population geographers disagree on, because some say that the fertility rate will increase while the death rate will stay the same, and some say the opposite, which is what's graphed here, showing a natural decrease as the maternity rate is higher than the fertility rate. And now we can look at the population pyramid. The population pyramid of a stage 1 is a triangle that has a bottom that's rapidly increasing and a top that's rapidly decreasing or becoming smaller. And stage 2, we see the population pyramid basically resembling a perfect triangle. In stage 3, as the fertility rates drop, we see the bottom kind of starts to flatten out instead of growing. So, and in stage 4, we see the same thing happen, but a little bit more. So you kind of have the bottom that's shrinking, and in stage 5, it will sort of in some way resemble a abstract flipped around triangle. It is important to note, however, that the demographic transition model is not perfect, as it is only accounting for natural increase, but does not account for things like immigration, which is why countries like the US can still have a growing population. And we're done for this video. I'm Jack. See you next time. Just remember to click the red thing